So we did Art Nouveau and we did Brutalism, but now it's time for a very special architecture style. It's kind of an evolution of Art Nouveau, and that is, of course, Art Deco. Art Deco is a style that originated in the 1920s. It is an evolution of the Art Nouveau style, but instead of having natural structures, it tends to be more straight and jagged. It's most common in New York as well as throughout Europe and North America. Now, your average Art Deco building is going to be taller than your average Art Nouveau building. So the design's going to look a lot different than this building. It'll be kind of a skyscraper, I guess. So yeah, I hope you like the extravagance of Art Deco. I'm going to start by building the rough shell of the structure. Then I'll use commands to fill it in. Once it's filled in, I'll make some windows. Now I'll make the base for the upper floors. Then I repeat the same process from the lower floors. Now I'll fill in the holes. And I begin on the outer columns. I made this nice little pattern with chiseled stone. Then I added to it with mud brick. I add some mud brick walls to the sides. And I put this pattern on every column. Now I'll fancy up those windows. Here's the entrance. We'll come back to this later. I added some mud brick walls for the windows. Of course, we have to do this to the other sides. Now we'll start on the top structure. I'm blending mud brick and stone brick elements. Some cleverly placed stairs and walls give a nice 3D element to the design. I began on the lovely corner pieces. I went through a couple different designs, but in the end, I decided to just go with the original. Now we'll repeat the same pattern and design for the upper structure. Now I'll put in the windows. I like using light gray glass panes because they look better than the normal clear glass. Here's the design for the front entrance. I again went for a couple different looks before settling on the final one. Now I'll put in the floors. On the top of the building, I decided to make a huge Art Deco spire. I again used a mud brick and stone brick palette consisting of mud brick blocks and stone brick walls as an accent. And there's the finished spire. Now I'll put in the actual door. And of course, I have to build stairs. Then I'll put in some trapdoors to hide the stone. And some lights, of course, and we're done. So here it is in its finished form. I put windows on all of the sides. It has a really cool spire on top, and that spire also looks cool when it's viewed from above. Now, the entrance is pretty simple. I just used the design from the top, and I just put that on the entrance. I didn't do much on the inside. If you made this in your survival world, I'm sure you'd be able to fill it with tons of different things. So I put this nice little staircase that kind of goes to the top, and here we are at the top. You can see everything else. It's pretty cool. So yeah, this was my Art Deco building. You can see how it differs from my Art Nouveau building over here. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked it. Goodbye.